Part 5. Molding the Future. Chapter 19. Values Elicitation. Laying a firm foundation on which you can build the rest of your life. To embrace your true potential, the foundation of your new life must be structured in accordance with the concepts, ideas, notions, attributes, and qualities that are of most importance to you. For example, your core values. Living in accordance with the expectations of other people or adhering to the indoctrinated standards of society is a recipe for discontentment and stagnation. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions. Their lives, a mimicry. Their passions, a quotation. Oscar Wilde. This planet is full of unfulfilled clones who trudge drearily from day to day, doing what society expects of them. Like programmed robots, they follow the herd, afraid to step out of the confines of normality. They stick at jobs they cannot abide, because it pays the bills. They stay in relationships that have long since stagnated, because it's safe and all they have ever known. Their dreams and aspirations have been reduced to distant memories. What a sad way to live. But more importantly, for the person with a destructive alcohol habit, these examples of stagnancy, unhappiness, and discontentment warrant escape. Need I say any more? You are unique. Your needs are unique. Your talents are unique. When you were young, you were not afraid to dream and aspire to fulfill your dreams. Just the thought of what you were going to do with your life energized you. Remember the magic of those days, that wonderful feeling of exhilaration brought about by contemplating your aspirations. What happened? In short, you became subject to the hypnosis of society, cloned by the conformists. All your dreams and aspirations simply faded into the abyss. Well, it's time to reclaim that youthful exuberance. Come on, wake up. Feel that sense of excitement building again. It's time to inject vibrancy and adventure back into your life. By allowing your life to unfold in accordance with what truly inspires you, you will start to live abundantly instead of merely existing. You will reignite that magical zest you had as a child and be propelled into a dimension of existence in which your dreams and aspirations come alive. The first step on this journey is to reacquaint yourself with the things you treasure. Things that make your heart leap and your pulse race. Things that fill you with joy and excitement. Things that are deeply meaningful to you. Such things are core values, and they will lay the foundation for a new life. An era in which you will reclaim your rightful heritage as creator and inventor. An era in which you will express your uniqueness and be joyous and free. The following exercise is designed to help you elicit your core values. Give it the time and commitment it deserves. Don't forget, your core values are the solid foundation on which your new life will be based. Exercise. Take a pen and paper and circle the top 10 things you value in life from the table below. Feel free to add any of your personal values that are not listed. Adventure, challenge, learning, teaching, intimacy, diversity, creativity, compassion, courage, inventiveness, open-mindedness, achievement, knowledge, fun, kindness, wisdom, social network, success, commitment, health, family, support, love, humility, honesty, independence, self-discipline, peace, silence, meditation, pleasure, sensitivity, trust, recognition, growth, fairness, gratitude, freedom, integrity, influence. Example: 1. Adventure. 2. Intimacy. 3. Inventiveness. 4. Open-mindedness. 5. Diversity. 6. Silence. 7. Meaningful relationships. 8. Knowledge. 9. Love. 10. Freedom. Now contemplate your list and be sure it contains the things you value more than anything. If necessary, make changes. Omit or add items. When you have finished, contemplate the list once again until you are absolutely certain it represents your core values. Now, revise the list and prioritize your values. For example, number 1 is your primary value, etc. Note, if certain values are of equal importance to you and you find it difficult prioritizing, indicate it in your list or skip this step completely. Example: 1. Love. 2. Meaningful relationships. 3. Intimacy. 4. Freedom. 5. Adventure. 6. Diversity. 7. Open-mindedness. 8. Inventiveness. 9. Knowledge. 10. Silence. Again, contemplate the list and revise the priority if necessary. Once you are absolutely certain that the list reflects and prioritizes your core values, focus on each one and write a paragraph about what it means to you. Make sure you take your time and allow the essence of each value to permeate your being. On the left-hand side, write down a list of your core values. And on the right hand, right beside each core value, write down what it means to you. After finding your core values and writing a paragraph on each, you may wish to consider them in different facets of your life. For example, career, relationships, etc. Here are some of my core values. I have concentrated on relationships and careers. For each category, I have listed 3 items. For example, meaningful relationships, intimacy, and freedom for the relationship category. I suggest you list as many items as you can. The more time you give to this exercise, the more you will discover the deep, meaningful things that truly nourish you. But don't be surprised if it evokes tears or sends you dancing around the room with joy. This exercise uncovers the treasures you buried long ago. Paul Henderson's core values. Relationships. 1. Meaningful relationships. Meaningful relationships are important to me because I like to feel a special connection with the people in my life. I like to surround myself with people who inspire and stimulate me, people who breathe life into me. True friendship involves an atmosphere of trust where I can fully express myself without reservation or fear of being judged. Conversely, I thrive in an atmosphere of lighthearted humor and fun. Laughter is extremely healing. A meaningful relationship, to me, is one which fosters understanding, acceptance, empathy, encouragement, support, love, and laughter. One that can traverse the full spectrum of emotions with ease, trust, and warmth. Perhaps my idea of a meaningful relationship can be summed up by the following words of Aristotle. What is a friend but a single soul dwelling in 2 bodies? The primary theme of true friendship for me is undoubtedly unity. Now, I contemplate the above paragraph for 15 minutes and continue this practice with the following paragraphs. 2. Intimacy. Intimacy is a process whereby 2 people relinquish all roles and expose their true nature to each other. For me, there are 2 key variables to intimacy: self-disclosure and vulnerability. An intimate relationship is one in which I am not afraid to be myself and appear vulnerable in front of someone else. Intimacy involves an atmosphere of caring and sharing. An intimate relationship for me is an oasis where I have no need to calculate my responses in accordance with the company I keep. I have no need for defenses. I can purge myself of embarrassments, delicate issues, and worries without fear of reprisals. Intimacy and liberation from the vicissitudes of life are inextricably linked. 3. Freedom. All too often, the word relationship can be supplanted by the word possession. For me, freedom is a prerequisite for a happy relationship. A relationship is not two halves coming together to make a whole. That's dependency. It is two whole people coming together to share a special connection. A person must be free to express themselves for who they truly are, to pursue the things that stimulate and excite them. This is what breathes life into a relationship. Freedom is a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. By depending on one person as a sole source of happiness, I invite insecurity and jealousy into my life. When my mind is open to everything and attached to nothing, I enjoy the people who enter my life. But I do not tether my happiness to them. Thus, I remain open to the infinite diversity the universe provides, the multitude of people who enter my life, bringing with them the wonderful gift of friendship. Career. 1. Adventure. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. For me, adventure is imperative for a fulfilling career. I am a person who thrives on new challenges. Life is a quest for new, insightful knowledge. I don't want to regurgitate other people's experiences through vicarious means. I want to break the confines of conformity and be a pioneer. To make a difference in this world, I have to break away from the herd mentality and become a shepherd. I have to travel the road less traveled. New adventures stimulate me. They inject a deep sense of purpose and excitement into my life. Whether I hit the deck or soar to new heights, it doesn't matter. I feel alive and filled with vitality. The adventurer is fearless, resourceful, and creative. 2. Diversity. The rich tapestry of life is woven from innumerable threads. Each thread contributes to the richness of the pattern. The more fibers that are intricately woven together, the more beauty is revealed in the end product. Paul Henderson. Like a finely woven tapestry, I want to weave together the infinite possibilities of life to reveal the beauty of my life's purpose. To me, to embrace the infinite diversity that life has to offer means to live abundantly. Anything less is a mere existence. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. Oscar Wilde. To date, my curriculum vitae is extremely diverse. I have been a car cleaner, a storeman, a milkman, a bum, a student, an actor, a musician, an entertainer, a teacher, an author, and an inspirational speaker. But I am still only 50 years old. Like Michelangelo, who finished painting the Sistine Chapel in his 80s, the best work of my life lies ahead. I intend to write many more books, become a playwright, write a musical, and make a movie. And that's just for starters. I have been given this wonderful opportunity called life, and I intend to embrace every gift it presents. 3. Inventiveness. The power of creative imagination is the midwife of all novel ideas. Within each of us lies a genius awaiting recognition. This genius's workshop is the formless realm of our imagination. Our imagination isn't some psychic playground where we go to drum up unrealistic pleasantries. It is the womb of creation. Look around you right now. Everything you see was once an idea, birthed from somebody's imagination. Albert Einstein acknowledged the power of the imagination by making statements such as, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," and "The imagination is the preview of life's forthcoming events." To be unique is to express your individuality in novel ways. To accumulate knowledge is to regurgitate other people's findings. The imagination is the image-forming capacity of the mind. And whatever you can conceive in the mind, you can achieve in reality. Being inventive, for me, means to stamp on my own unique mark on the world. Conclusion. Now that you have identified your core values, it is time to start using them to structure your perfect life and make your world a place of intrigue, fascination, and joy. Far too often, people identify what they value and have wonderful ideas of how they would like to utilize and honor them. But that's where it comes to a sudden halt. They stop right there and never put their plans into action. The following section is designed to help you give structure to your ideas, so you can implement them effectively and birth them into reality. Be smart. Give structure to your goals. Setting and implementing goals that act as stepping stones to the realization of your life's purpose is a wonderful experience. Not only does it engage your mind and orient it towards your destiny, it breathes life back into the very core of your being. Humans thrive on achievement. It bolsters self-worth and radically increases momentum to achieve other goals. Most of all, it purges the mind of any residual negativity and supplants it with inspiration and enthusiasm. Giving structure to your ideas is imperative. Vague and abstract notions fade away quickly, whereas a concrete plan gives your mind something tangible to grasp onto. When your mind embraces an idea, it acts as a servo mechanism to steer you towards its fulfillment. Before we look at restructuring goals, it's important to understand the difference between objectives, goals, and purpose. Purpose relates to our overall vision or primary purpose. For example, my ultimate purpose is to conduct inspirational speeches and write books. Goals are the individual tasks, stepping stones that pave the way to our ultimate purpose. For example, I became a teacher of psychology and esoteric material in order to prepare myself to talk and write. Objectives are the smaller tasks involved in the realization of your goal. For example, my goal of setting up a training company involved the following objectives: writing courses, advertising, finding venues, and attracting students. A goal may have one or many objectives that need to be fulfilled for its successful completion. One of the best methods for setting goals is the SMART system. SMART, or SMART, refers to the acronym that describes the key variables of meaningful goals. S. Specific, concrete, detailed, and well-defined. M. Measurable, how you know you are progressing. A. Achievable, feasible. R. Realistic, considering resources. T. Time-bound, a defined timeline. Let's look at these characteristics in more detail. Specific. Specific means that the goal is concrete, detailed, focused, and well-defined. It highlights the necessary course of action and required outcome. Goals should relay precisely what you intend to happen. To help set specific goals, it helps to ask the following questions. What am I going to do? This is best written using powerful action verbs such as conduct, devise, build, plan, execute, deliver, etc. Effective language declares your goal action-oriented and focuses on what's most important. Why is this important to me? Is your goal in alignment with your core values? Does it breathe excitement into you? Does it carry you in the direction of your ultimate purpose? Does it evolve you as a human being? Who do I need to help me accomplish my goal? When do I want it to be completed? How am I going to implement it? Measurable. If the objective is measurable, it means you can track the results of your actions. Measuring enables you to identify any glitches at an early stage and readjust your strategy. Therefore, it increases efficiency. Most importantly, though, as you witness the fruits of your work, when your results measure up to your expectations and forecasts, you will notice a distinct heightening of your enthusiasm. This powerful motivating force is then fed back into your project, and so momentum gathers. Diagnostic questions. How can my accomplishments be measured? Does my method of measurement provide a useful source of feedback? Achievable. Goals need to be achievable. If you overextend your capabilities and resources, it is very easy to lose interest and deem yourself a failure. Conversely, when you break your goal down into a number of achievable objectives and attain them, you build up momentum and enthusiasm. Whilst being attainable, objectives still need to stretch to you, but not so far that you become frustrated and lose motivation. Diagnostic questions. Is a proposed timeframe realistic? Do I understand the limitations and constraints? Do I have a contingency plan? Do I have the necessary resources? If not, how can I secure them? Is the project possible? Realistic. Goals that are achievable may not be realistic. However, realistic does not mean easy. Realistic means that you have the necessary resources to complete the task, whereas achievement is dependent on the demand placed on those resources. Most goals are achievable, but may require a change in your priorities to make them happen. Diagnostic questions. Are you putting an unreasonable demand on your resources to achieve the goal? Do you need to revise your priorities to make it happen? Do you need to revise your strategy for successful completion? Time-bound. Time-bound means setting deadlines. Deadlines create the all-important sense of urgency required for the mind to act as a servo mechanism. If you don't set a deadline, you will reduce the motivation and urgency required to execute the tasks. Deadlines create the necessary urgency and prompt action. Diagnostic questions. When will this objective be accomplished? What is the intended deadline? There's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when circumstance permits. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. To synthesize and assimilate the information presented above, let's take an example from my own experience. Some years ago, I held the position of computer engineer at a local university. Although I thrived in the environment and enjoyed the company of my colleagues, my role had become monotonous and unfulfilling. Being a person who needs stimulation, diversity, and challenge, I became very agitated and unsettled, as there was no scope for promotion within the ranks, and my interest in IT was waning. I had to make a decision: leave or grin and bear it. Although my career needs were not being met, and the job was not in alignment with my life's purpose, many of my relationships' needs were being fulfilled. My colleagues were like family, and the working environment was a wonderful social arena. My extended family and I were able to intimate, confide, support, encourage, and laugh together during the working day. So I didn't want to leave. With this realization came a cunning plan. I decided to set myself a goal. I would pursue another avenue of work that would fulfill the needs that weren't being met by my day job. Challenge, diversity, and adventure. Just for fun, I decided to add another criteria. Whatever I chose to pursue most double my annual salary within 12 months. Already, I felt the energy and excitement coursing through my veins. I thrive on challenge, and this was inventive and exciting. A real adventure. Drawing on my resources, I decided to set up a training company. A company that would train therapists. Immediately, this felt right. My heart began to smile, and my energy field illuminated. Every day, I immersed myself in knowledge of a psychological and esoteric nature. Training therapists was the perfect way to integrate my primary interest into a career. Time to structure my goal. The first step was to draft an outline of my intended course of action, as follows. Outline. My goal is to devise and teach a course in clinical hypnotherapy. The course is to start in September 2006. It is now January. Whilst devising the course, I will seek a professional body to stamp their approval on it. For example, accredit it. Next, I will approach the venue where I hold meditation classes and negotiate a price for a room in which I will deliver the course. Then, I will spread the word via the network of contacts I already have and advertisements in the local press. In addition, I will expand my website to incorporate my new venture. The name I will use for the training school is the United Kingdom Academy of Integrative Therapy. As this is an umbrella term, it gives me scope to expand into counseling and NLP. After outlining the objectives of my goal, I made a precise list of activities and deadlines. Note, below I have added the corresponding SMART variable. Course is to start 16th of September 2006. Specific, time-bound, measurable. Monday night, 6 to 9 p.m. Specific, time-bound. Cost of venue equals XXX pounds. Specific, realistic. Cost of advertising, press, prospectus, cards, posters, etc. equals XXX pounds. Specific. Additional expenses, fuel, office materials, telephone calls, etc. Specific, measurable. Target number of students, 12. Minimum, realistic, achievable, measurable. Cost per student, XXX pounds. Specific, realistic. Course to be accredited by name of the governing body. Specific, achievable. Target profit, XXX pounds by September 2007. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. Anticipated profit by September 2007. XXX pounds, measurable, specific, achievable, realistic, time-bound. When I had completed the inventory of the criteria I needed to fulfill, I got cracking straight away. I surfed the net and contacted a reputable professional body that would be ideal to accredit my course. They sent me an information pack. After perusing their criteria, I devised a comprehensive practitioner-level diploma in clinical hypnotherapy. A wonderful byproduct of this stage was that I learned so much in the process. On completion, I sent off the prospectus, which included the course curriculum and specific criteria such as cost, venue, and qualifications of the instructors. 6 weeks later, to my delight, I received a letter of acceptance from the professional body. This is where measurability is so important. As I could monitor my success by the feedback I was receiving, I knew I was progressing admirably. The letter of acceptance instilled a sense of achievement which fueled my motivation and sent my enthusiasm levels rocketing. This energy was then plowed back into my project and utilized to attain further objectives. Momentum was building fast and furiously. Next, I spread the word throughout my network of friends and found there were a great deal of interest. Within a week, I had 8 students, another 4, and my objective had been met, with another 5 months still to go. Finally, I placed adverts in the local papers and got an excellent response. Epilogue. Within a year, I had a foundation course and practitioner-level diploma running in 3 different locations. 37 students in all. I also diversified and delivered transpersonal-oriented courses and staged mind, body, spirit fairs. What a year that was. My self-esteem rocketed. I developed a wealth of new friends. I accumulated a vast amount of useful knowledge, and I evolved as a person. As for my financial target, well, I far exceeded it. I once lived on a rat-infested railway embankment without even my bus fare to my name. Now, I drove a brand new Mercedes-Benz. Summary. Eliciting your core values reveals the solid foundation on which the rest of your life will be built. Complete the core values exercise and give it the time it deserves. Contemplate each of your values and allow their essence to permeate your being. Calibrate your life in accordance with them. This important exercise often induces a feeling that you have come to know yourself for the very first time. Take the time to structure your ideas on paper. Vague and abstract notions very rarely get off the ground. By using the SMART system to solidify your ideas, you engage the mind in such a way that it will move mountains to manifest them.